This is what's on at Do-It-Yourself Home Improvement Plus. We do a great deal of work in the woodworking shop here at Do-It-Yourself Home Improvement Plus. We do all sorts of things in the woodworking shop. We have furniture such as dresses, blanket chests, birdhouses, and jewelry boxes for men, jewelry boxes for women. And one of the tools that's critical to making furniture is the router. This is a homemade router table made out of common hardware. In it sets a Freud router table top that's inset flush with the top of the table. So in addition to the router table top that's inset in the table, we have a Freud fence that is totally adjustable in many different ways. In using the router table and a router, the safest way to use a router is mounted in a table such as this here. And there's many different types of tables you can buy. This is rather an inexpensive one, but very good quality router and router table top. We have hooked up to this particular router table a vacuum line that pulls the debris as we run a piece of wood through the router. In addition to that, the router table is set up with a power supply whereby the router and the vacuum cleaner come on at the same time when we throw the switch. In using the router table, one of the most dangerous areas, obviously, is the blade itself. This particular router is a variable speed router. You can adjust the speed from as low as 8,000 up to 21,000 RPM. The speed you use depends on the type of wood you're running through the router and the size of the bit itself. The router will take 1/4" drive bits up to a 1/2" bit. We usually stay with 1/2" bits because of the torque and the pressure that's against the bit itself. 1/4" bits on the heavy loads have a tendency to break off. The most hazardous thing about using a router is getting your fingers in the way of the router bit itself. With a router bit turning 12,000 RPM and these blades are extremely sharp, it will cut a finger or a hand in just about a nanosecond. It will occur so fast that you won't even feel it till several minutes. But it will be obvious because of the amount of blood that's being spattered around. In using the router table, we always feed the material in the direction of rotation. For instance, this blade turns counterclockwise. So we feed it so the bit itself bites into the wood in that fashion. If the speed is not adjusted properly, the wood has a tendency to break out as the end of it passes through the router bit. So we want the speed of the router set at the highest possible speed for the type of wood that we're doing. In addition to that, routers make a tremendous amount of noise. Anytime you're using a router, you should wear ear protection as well as eye protection. So we're going to demonstrate how to run a piece of wood through a router without cutting your fingers off. That's a pretty standard technique of running a piece of wood through the router. As you see, we put a nice round over edge on this particular piece of wood. But we can adjust the height of the blade so we can get these kind of cuts that are more decorative. Always remember, when you're using a router table, be extremely cautious when the router is in operation. One little mistake can be absolutely devastating. For more information on do-it-yourself home improvements, take a look at our website at Do It Yourself Home Improvement Plus.